They doubt you. Maybe they said it to your face. Maybe they laughed behind your back. Or maybe it was quieter than that, a look, a smirk, a moment where they didn't take you seriously. And if you're being honest, it got to you. It made you question yourself. It made you hesitate. It made you wonder, what are they right? But here's the truth you need to hear right now. They don't see your vision. They don't feel your hunger. They don't understand your purpose. So why are you letting their doubt define your limits? Listen carefully. Every person who has ever done something great was doubted first. People didn't believe in them. People questioned them. People underestimated them. Not because they were weak, but because they were different. And different makes people uncomfortable. You have to understand this. When you start thinking bigger than the people around you, when you start aiming higher than what they think is realistic, they won't clap for you. They'll doubt you because your ambition exposes their comfort. Your discipline exposes their excuses. Your courage exposes their fear. So instead of growing, they try to shrink you. They'll say things like, be realistic. That's too hard. You're aiming too high. People like us don't do that. But what they really mean is, I'm afraid to try, so you shouldn't either. And if you listen to them, if you let their fear become your reality, you lose before you even start. Let me ask you something. What if they're wrong? What if the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the courage to ignore them? Because doubt is loud, but results are louder. Right now, you don't need their approval. You don't need their validation. You need focus. You need discipline. You need obsession. Because proving them wrong doesn't happen overnight. It happens in the dark, when no one is watching, when no one is clapping, when no one believes in you. That's where it starts. Early mornings when you don't feel like getting up, but you do anyway. Late nights when you're exhausted, but you keep going. Days when everything feels slow, when progress feels invisible, but you still show up. That's how you win. Not by talking, not by convincing people, but by working relentlessly, silently, consistently, because one day you won't have to say anything. Your results will speak for you. The same people who doubted you will ask you how you did it. The same people who laughed will clap for you. The same people who ignored you will suddenly notice you. But by then, you won't need them, because this journey isn't about them. It's about you becoming the person you were meant to be. Stronger, sharper, unstoppable. And here's something most people won't tell you. Doubt is a gift. Yeah, it hurts. Yeah, it frustrates you. Yeah, it makes you angry. But that anger, that fire, that desire to prove them wrong, that's fuel. That's power. That's what separates average from greatness. Because average people quit when they're doubted. But great people, they get to work. They take that doubt and turn it into drive. They take that criticism and turn it into discipline. They take that negativity and turn it into results. So instead of asking, why don't they believe in me? Start asking, what am I going to do about it? Because at the end of the day, no one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you success. No one is going to believe in you until you give them a reason to. So give them a reason, not with words, with actions, with effort, with consistency, with results. And understand this. You don't have to prove them wrong by arguing. You don't have to prove them wrong by explaining. You prove them wrong by becoming undeniable, by becoming so disciplined they can't ignore you, so consistent they can't doubt you, so successful they can't deny you. That's the level you need to reach. And it starts right now, not tomorrow, not next week, right now, because every second you waste is another second you're proving them right. Every excuse you make is another reason for them to doubt you. Every time you quit, you confirm what they already believe. So don't stop. Don't slow down. Don't listen. You got something inside you, something bigger than their opinions, something stronger than their doubt, something powerful enough to change your entire life. But only if you use it, only if you commit, only if you decide that no matter what they say, you're going to make it happen. So let them doubt you. Let them question you. Let them underestimate you. Because in the end, it won't be their words that define your life. It will be your actions. And this is just the beginning. Now that you've decided you're not going to let their doubt stop you, this is where it gets harder. Because the truth is, proving them wrong isn't just about motivation. It's about discipline. And discipline doesn't care how you feel. There will be days when you wake up tired, days when your energy is low, days when nothing feels exciting anymore. That initial fire, that anger you felt when they doubted you, it fades. And what's left is the real test. Because anyone can start when they're motivated, but very few can continue when they're not. This is where most people fall off. Not because they aren't capable, but because they aren't consistent. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel inspired. They wait for the perfect moment. But winners, they don't wait. They move anyway. They show up when it's hard. They show up when it's boring. They show up when it feels like nothing is working. Because they understand something powerful. Success is not built in big moments. It's built in small actions, repeated every single day. That workout you didn't feel like doing. That extra hour of work when you were already tired. That decision to stay focused instead of getting distracted. That's what builds momentum. That's what separates you. And here's something you need to accept. This journey is going to be lonely. People won't always understand why you're so focused. They'll say you've changed. They'll say you're too serious. They might even try to pull you back into your old habits. Not because they hate you, but because your growth makes them uncomfortable. When you start leveling up, you remind people of what they're not doing. And instead of rising with you, so will try to bring you back down. So you have a choice. Stay where you are and keep everyone comfortable. Or grow and risk outgrowing people. Because you can have both. You can't chase greatness and stay in the same mindset, the same habits, the same environment. Something has to change. And most of the time, it's you. You have to think differently. You have to act differently. You have to move differently. While others are wasting time, you're working. While others are complaining, you're improving. While others are sleeping on their dreams, you're building yours. That's the separation. That's how you prove them wrong. Not by trying to convince them, but by becoming someone they can't ignore. And let's be real for a second. There will be moments when you doubt yourself. Even if you don't want to admit it. Moments where that little voice in your head says, what if this doesn't work? What if they were right? What if I'm not good enough? That voice, it's normal. Everyone has it. Even the people you look up to. The difference is they don't listen to it. They hear it and keep going anyway. Because courage is not the absence of doubt. It's action in spite of it. So when that voice shows up, don't run from it. Don't let it control you. Use it. Let it remind you what's at stake. Let it push you to work harder. Let it fuel your focus. Because every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're getting stronger. Every time you choose action over excuses, you're getting closer. Every time you refuse to quit, you're proving something. Not just to them, but to yourself. And that's the most important part. Because at the end of the day, this isn't really about them anymore. It started with their doubt, but it continues with your standards. The standard you set for how you work. The standard you set for how you think. The standard you set for how you show up every single day. That's what defines your future. Not their opinions. Not their words. Your standards. So raise them. Raise them higher than you ever have before. Demand more from yourself. Push yourself further. Hold yourself accountable. Because no one else will do it for you. And here's the truth most people avoid. If you don't discipline yourself, life will. And life is a much harsher teacher. So choose your hard. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. One builds you. The other breaks you. And if you're serious about proving them wrong, you already know which one you have to choose. This is where you separate from the average. This is where you decide, are you going to be someone who talks about what they want or someone who actually goes and gets it? Because talking is easy. Dreaming is easy. Planning is easy. But execution? Execution is everything. And execution requires sacrifice. You might have to give up comfort. You might have to give up distractions. You might even have to give up certain people. But what you gain in return is everything. Confidence, strength, respect, results. So when it gets hard, and it will, remember why you started. Remember how it felt when they doubted you. Remember what you said to yourself. I'm going to prove them wrong. Now live up to it. Because every action you take from this moment forward is either building your future or destroying it. There is no in between. So move with intention, work with purpose, and stay locked in. Because you're not just chasing success anymore. You're becoming someone who earns it. Now you're deep in it. This is the phase nobody talks about. The phase where you've been working, grinding, showing up. But the results? They're not there yet. Not the big ones. Not the kind that silence people. And this is where doubt gets dangerous again. Not their doubt, your own. Because it's easy to stay focused when things are improving fast. It's easy to stay motivated when you're winning. But when progress feels slow, invisible, almost non-existent, that's when most people break. They start questioning everything. Is this even worth it? Am I wasting my time? Maybe they were right about me. And just like that, they stop, not because they failed, but because they didn't see results fast enough. Listen carefully. This is the moment that decides everything. Because what you're experiencing right now, it's not failure. It's the process. Success doesn't show up early. It tests you first. It watches how you respond when nothing is working. It watches how you move when no one is clapping. It watches if you're committed or just interested. Because being interested is easy. You work when you feel like it. You show up when it's convenient. You quit when it gets uncomfortable. But being committed, that's different. That means you show up no matter what. Tired or not. Motivated or not. Winning or not. You stay locked in. And that's what most people can't do. They want the reward, but they don't respect the process. They want success, but they don't have the patience. They want results, but they're not willing to go through the silence. Because there is always a period of silence. A period where it feels like nothing is happening. But something is happening. You're building habits. You're building discipline. You're building mental toughness. You're becoming someone different. And that transformation, it doesn't show on the outside immediately, but it's happening. Every single day you don't quit. You're stacking proof. Proof that you're not average. Proof that you're not weak. Proof that you don't give up when it gets hard. And that matters more than anything, because results are temporary. But who you become in the process, that's permanent. Let me be real with you. The world doesn't reward effort right away. It rewards consistency over time. That's why people quit too early. They expect instant validation, instant success, instant recognition. But real success? It's delayed. It's built quietly. And then one day, it shows up all at once. That's how it works. Years of effort compressed into one breakthrough moment. And when that moment comes, it looks like luck to everyone else. They'll say, "Wow, you blew up overnight. Wow, that happened so fast. Wow, you got lucky." But you'll know the truth. You'll know about the early mornings, the late nights, the sacrifices, the discipline. You'll know how many times you wanted to quit, but didn't. And that's why it will mean more, because you earned it. But you can't get there if you quit in this phase, this quiet, frustrating, slow phase. This is where champions are built. This is where your mindset gets tested. This is where your identity is formed. Are you someone who stops when it's hard, or someone who keeps going no matter what? Because right now, no one is watching. No one is judging. No one is praising you. It's just you and your choices. And those choices, they matter more than you think. Every time you choose to keep going, you're getting closer, even if you can't see it, even if it doesn't feel like it. Progress is happening. You just have to trust it. Trust the work. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Because the only way you lose is if you stop. That's it. Not if it takes longer. Not if it gets harder. Not if people still doubt you. You only lose if you quit. So don't let temporary frustration destroy long-term success. Don't let slow progress convince you that you're failing. Don't let doubt, yours or anyone else's, take you out of the game. You've come too far for that. Remember where you started. Remember the version of you who decided to change. The version of you who said, I'm done being average. I'm done making excuses. I'm going to prove them wrong. That version of you, it's still there, but now it needs to level up. Now it needs to be stronger, more patient, more disciplined, more focused, because the higher you go, the harder it gets. But that's a good thing, because hard filters people out. Hard makes sure not everyone makes it. Hard is what gives success its value. So embrace it. Embrace the struggle. Embrace the silence. Embrace the grind. Because one day, all of this will make sense. All of this effort will pay off. All of this discipline will show results. And when it does, it won't just prove them wrong. It will prove something far more important, that you were right about yourself all along. And now, this is where everything changes. Not because the work suddenly gets easier, not because the path becomes clear, but because you're no longer the same person who started. You've been tested. You've faced doubt, both from others and from yourself. You've pushed through days when you didn't feel like continuing. You've stayed consistent when results were invisible. And that right there, that's transformation. Because proving them wrong was never just about success. It was about evolution. It was about becoming someone who doesn't break under pressure. Someone who doesn't fold when things get hard. Someone who doesn't need validation to keep going. That's who you're becoming. And now you're dangerous. Not in a negative way, but in a powerful, unstoppable way. Because now you understand something most people never will. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need to believe in yourself enough to keep going. That's it. That's the secret. Because at the beginning, their doubt felt heavy. It felt personal. It felt like something you had to fight against. But now it's just noise. Background noise. Because you're too focused to care. Too disciplined to stop. Too committed to quit. And that's what separates you. That's what makes you different. Because most people spend their lives trying to prove something to others. Trying to get approval. Trying to be accepted. Trying to fit in. But you chose a different path. You chose growth. You chose discomfort. You chose to bet on yourself. Even when it was hard. Even when it was lonely. Even when no one else saw your vision. And that decision, it changes everything. Because now, you're not chasing success anymore. You're aligned with it. You're living it. Every habit you've built, every standard you've raised, every time you refuse to quit, it's all adding up. And soon, very soon, the results will come. Not because you got lucky, but because you became the kind of person who earns results. And when that moment arrives, when everything starts to click, when the progress becomes visible, when the wins start stacking up, it won't feel like revenge. It won't feel like you need to go back and prove anything to anyone, because you'll realize something deeper. This was never about them. It was never about their opinions, their doubts, their words. It was about you versus you. The old you, the one who hesitated, the one who doubted, the one who almost gave up, versus the new you, the one who showed up anyway, the one who stayed disciplined, the one who kept going no matter what. And the new you wins every time. So let them watch. Let them wonder how you did it. Let them try to figure out when everything changed, because they won't see the full picture. They won't see the sacrifices. They won't see the pain. They won't see the days you struggled in silence. But you will. You'll remember every moment. And that's what makes it worth it. That's what makes a success real. Because it's built on something solid. Something unshakable. Work ethic. Discipline. Consistency. Self-belief. That's your foundation now. And no one can take that from you. No opinion. No criticism. No doubt. Nothing. Because you earned it. Step by step. Day by day. Choice by choice. And here's the final truth you need to lock into your mind. People will always doubt something they don't understand. So even when you succeed, even when you reach levels they never expected, some will still doubt you. Some will still question you. Some will still talk. But it won't matter anymore. Because you're not doing this for them. You never were. You're doing this for your future. For your goals. For the life you said you wanted. And now, you're closer than ever. So don't slow down. Don't get comfortable. Don't lose focus just because you've come far. Because there's another level waiting for you. Another version of you to unlock, and the same mindset that got you here is the mindset that will take you even further. Stay hungry, stay disciplined, stay locked in, because this journey doesn't end with proving them wrong. It continues with proving yourself right over and over again. So the next time someone doubts you, the next time someone underestimates you, the next time someone questions your vision, don't argue, don't explain, don't react. Just smile and go to work, because in the end, you won't need to say a single word. Your life will say it for you.